Solving problems, not selling products. We need to focus on what they're trying to buy, not on what you are trying to sell. Problems get in the way of achievement. The mind instinctively tries to solve problems. So when people are thinking and they're looking for services, it's usually in relation to them having a specific problem they're trying to solve. And because the mind thinks that way, if you become the person that clearly communicates a solution to their anticipated problem, which you've anticipated beforehand, then they're more likely to engage with you because you're saying, I can solve your problem. And that's what people are really trying to buy. They're trying to buy solutions to problems. They're not trying to buy products. There's two types of problems. There's positive problems and a negative problem. So a positive problem is I want to take my daughter to Florida and go swimming with the dolphins. How do I get there? That's a positive problem. So in my mind, I need to find somebody now who can get me there at a reasonable price on the day I need, the way I want, and to actually be there so I can deliver to my daughter what I've promised. And that's a positive problem. A negative problem, on the other hand, is a little bit different. A negative problem is I've got something that's affecting me and I need to solve that. So my car's broke down. I need to find someone to take me to the nearest garage. That's a negative problem. So when we look at the two, we're going to see that there's always a problem involved in every transaction that people are actually trying to solve. It could be they're trying to acquire knowledge and there's a problem there. I need knowledge about a certain thing for a certain reason. I might need to develop my business. So let's just use this. So I might need to develop video marketing skills, but I don't know what equipment to buy. So is there anybody out there that can help me figure out what I need to do? So everything in that context then becomes problem solving. So when we create a marketing mission statement, that statement should make a problem solving claim. And that's what we need to do. We need to solve problems. We don't need to sell products. And we'll talk about how products come into it. But we don't lead with our products. We lead with the problem that we're going to solve. Now, a client will have a perceived problem or need, but they will not have a perceived product need most of the time. So it comes back to what we was talking about earlier about layman's terms and speaking, in English, not Chinese, because they've got a perceived problem. They don't know that your product necessarily deals with that problem unless you link it directly. So they will not have a perceived product need. And if we can realize that, we'll stop putting our products first. They are going to have a problem or a need that they perceive, and they're going to communicate, and they're going to search for in Google. They're going to search for their perceived problem and the solution to that perceived problem. They're not going to necessarily search for the product because they don't know what the product is yet. So let's say, for instance, when I was building this studio, I was looking for what I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to have multiple cameras that I could switch between, and I wanted it done in hardware because I knew software really struggled with this. The computer had to be really powerful and the software wasn't quite. So I need hardware. But I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to switch cameras. The problem was I didn't know what the product was that I actually needed. So I wouldn't search for like for instance the Blackmagic TVS Studio, which is what I use in the current setup. I wouldn't search for that because I didn't know what that product was. What I would search for was, how do I film multiple cameras and switch between them in a live shoot? That's the way I'm thinking. So that's what I'm asking Google. That's what I'm putting into the search engines. And if you match that then with your mission statement, and even the rest of your copy, but if you match that with your mission statement, it becomes very easy for people to understand. Now you can lead them to a product that is part of the solution. So, let's focus on their perceived problem, not our product, that we know solves their problem, but that's really not where they are. So we have to really think about that and focus on their perceived problem. And here's another point. It's a perceived problem, not the actual problem. So you have to figure out how they would phrase the problem, how they would perceive the problem, how they would ask about the problem, and how they would ask for a solution to that problem. So if we answer in industry speak, we might use very specific language or terms that they're never going to search for and they're never going to find you. Or even when they do arrive, that it's not going to be clear that you communicate, it's not going to be clear that the service or product you communicate actually helps them. So you can sell a product when they're matched to a perceived problem or need, but you have to create the link. You have to create the marketing mission statement or the marketing title that helps them see that your product actually solves their problem, which is what they're searching for. We need to present our marketing mission statement. We need to present our marketing copy. We need to present that as a solution, not as a problem. So we need to present them as a solution to their perceived needs, not as a product. So what we would then want to do is match statements and problems. A marketing mission statement connects your services as a solution to their problem. And we need to create that bridge, and that's where the marketing mission statement comes in. So if we can communicate very clearly to our target audience what problem we're solving, then they are more likely to engage and come to us for our advice and potentially a sale.